What should you do if you get a summons from Midland Funding or Midland Credit Management? My name is Michael Wasylik. I'm one of the lawyers at Ricardo and Wasylik here in Florida. And together with my partner, Jason Ricardo, I help people just like you overcome foreclosure and debt collection with dignity. And today I'm going to tell you how you should handle a summons from Midland Funding. Now, before we begin, if you've got a story about a summons you got from Midland Funding, drop it in the comment. If you've got it in the comment section below, if you've got a question about a Midland summons, leave it in the comment section. We'll do our best to answer those as they come up, either in the comment section or in a new video. So the first thing to understand about Midland is this: they are a junk debt buyer and a debt collector. They operate under two names, Midland Funding and Midland Credit Management. They're the same company with different names, different subsidiaries. And what they do, their business model is they buy old, stale, charged off credit card debt from credit card companies. They buy these accounts for pennies on the dollar. They try to squeeze nickels, dimes, and even quarters out of you to make their profit. And they are a very profitable company. They made $1 billion in revenue in 2019, according to SEC filings. And they're still very profitable today, even with all the economic turmoil that's going on. So what they buy from the credit card companies is not the actual accounts. They buy lists of charged off debt, basically an Excel spreadsheet with a name, an account number, and a purported balance. And they'll use that list to try and collect money from the people whose names appear on the list. And when they do that, they'll write you letters and they'll give you phone calls and they'll try to persuade you using all the tactics at their disposal to make you feel bad and to make you afraid about not paying. And so they're going to try and scare money out of you or guilt money out of you, even though you don't have a contract with Midland. So if that fails, the next step that they'll do is they will file a lawsuit against you. In many cases. And when they file a lawsuit, you will receive a summons delivered to your home, to you or someone who lives in your home by a process server, and that summons will tell you you have to go to court. And when you get that summons, now you're on the hook for, at the very least, having to go to court unless you have somebody handle that for you. I'll talk about that at the end of the video. And if you miss that court date, it can have catastrophic consequences. You can have a default judgment entered against you. You can have your wages garnished. You can have money taken from you against your will because you missed a court date. So the summons will tell you what you need to do. You might need to appear by a video conference. You might need to show up in person. You might be able to make a phone call and protect your rights. But on a date and time that will be in the summons, you have to do something. You have to appear before the court in some way, shape, or form, and then you have to tell the court whether you dispute the debt or whether you admit the debt. Now, generally speaking, admitting the debt has consequences. The most important consequence of admitting the debt is that a judgment will be entered against you. Now, if you are 100% certain that you have a contract with Midland, if you're 100% certain that you owe exactly the amount of money they're claiming, then you may feel like that's a good reason to admit the debt. But if you have any doubt in your mind about whether Midland is entitled to take money from you, you have a right to dispute it. And in most cases, most people should, at least at this stage. Because if you don't dispute it at that stage, you give up any right to challenge any part of the debt. And that's not a good idea, because a judgment will be entered against you, your wages can be garnished, money can be taken from you against your will. So when you tell the judge you dispute it, typically you'll be referred to a mediation, which is a settlement conference. During that settlement conference, Midland's lawyers will try to pressure you into coughing up money. They will use all the tactics at their disposal. They will try to make it seem like they're doing you a favor. They'll try to guilt you into paying. They'll try to scare you into paying. And they'll offer settlement plans that sound like a really good deal, but they have hidden traps in them that most people will not want to sign. So if they dangle like a $25 a month payment plan, remember that ties you to them for months, if not years. And if you ever miss a payment, that's when the trap gets sprung. I've shot other videos about that. We'll drop a link in the description to those videos so that you can see exactly what the trap is I'm talking about. In most cases, the settlements being offered by Midland at mediation are not going to be as good as the ones you can get in other ways. I'm going to tell you about that again towards the end of the video, so keep watching. The mediation conference, if there's an agreement, the judge will note that and will allow the parties to go ahead and proceed under that settlement agreement. If the mediation fails to reach an agreement, then there will be a trial. At that trial, at some future date, you will have a right to present evidence. You'll have a right to dispute the evidence of the other side. And during that trial, if you are not represented by a lawyer, the judge will still be required by law to treat you just like everybody else that appears in court. And that means he's required to treat you as if you are trained like a lawyer, trained in the rules of evidence, trained in the rules of court procedure, and trained in the law that is underlying the claim that's being levied against you, whether it's a breach of contract, an open account, an account stated, or an unjust enrichment claim. If you have any of those claims, you're going to be required to know what those mean and how they work in order to effectively dispute it, because the judge can't give you special treatment. The judge can't give you legal advice. The judge can't tell you how to try your case. You've got to figure that all out on your own, unless you have somebody helping you out. If that trial is successful and you win the trial and you get the case dismissed, it's over, it's done. And once you get that order of dismissal, you can use that to challenge or dispute any improper reporting on your credit report. And if that doesn't work, then you get to sue and clean up your credit report that way. If, however, a judgment is entered against you, if the court finds that Midland has a right to collect, if a court finds that Midland is entitled to get money from you, a judgment will be entered, your wages can be garnished, and money can be taken from you against your will. You want to avoid that if at all possible. So it's important, if you get a trial date, you need to know what you're doing and do it right. Otherwise, you're very likely to have that garnishment or have that money taken from you against your will. If you decide that you don't want to go to trial by yourself, if you decide you don't want to go to trial without help, if you decide you don't want to go up against the Midland lawyers without a lawyer of your own, there's a very easy way to talk to us. We'll give you a free 30-minute appointment for mentioning this video. Hit the click to call link that's in the description, or you can call us at 352-567-3173. If you have a question this video hasn't answered, leave it in the comment section below. We'll do our best to answer it in future videos or in the comment section itself. If this has been helpful for you, please hit the like button, share it with somebody else who needs it. And if you want to see more about this, go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss a new video talking about debt collection, junk debt buyers, foreclosure, and credit reporting, and all those things that are related. So go ahead and, again, like, subscribe, share it with somebody who needs it, comment if you got a question, call us if you know you already need help. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.